I am a healer, helping our loved ones recover safely in the hospital and at home.
I had to mention to the doctor that I am allergic to penicillin. Is it still okay to take the medications?
Definitely. These antibiotics don't contain penicillin, so it's perfectly safe for you to take them.
I am delivering new insights into treating disease. Enabling better diagnoses faster. And lending surgeons a helping hand. I am opening new worlds of discovery. And creating new medical miracles. I am uncovering emerging threats. Exploring a universe of possibilities to find the ideal protein. And accelerating the path to a cure. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA and brilliant healers everywhere.
Please welcome to the stage NVIDIA's Vice President of Healthcare and Life Sciences, Kimberly Powell.
Thank you. Good morning. Healthcare is good to put at 8 a.m. because we're all early risers, I expect. Thank you for many of you traveling a couple hours to come to this session at 8 a.m. This is an absolutely extraordinary time. Accelerated computing has allowed us to help so many great partners you just saw in that video and others around the world create some of the most advanced medical and life sciences instruments over the last decade. Things like our first interactions with Siemens and the 4D ultrasound way back when, in 2008. For the last decade, working on incredible genomic sequencing platforms from next generation sequencing, long read sequencing, single cell, now into spatial genomics, creating an incredible digital biology revolution. We're also working in helping these amazing new microscopes that are capturing biology at incredible, sub-micron resolutions. Into the next generation CTs, photon counting CT, able to now capture the function of anatomy. It's really, really quite breathtaking. And then you saw Moon Surgical. A new generation of surgical robots is now being made possible because we've made accelerated computing and now generative AI completely accessible. Accelerated computing is what allowed generative AI to be invented. And now we have these two platforms coming together to make healthcare become one of the largest technology industries in the world. If not, it will be the largest. It's been an incredible journey, and we're just getting started. If you can imagine, in the future, billions of surgeries and imaging studies around the world will all have medical assistants working on their behalf. From the ordering of the image study or the preparing of the surgery, all the way through to the writing of those reports. The amazing $250 billion of R&D that is spent every year in the quest to find life-saving medicines is going to be completely redesigned. I see some friends in the audience who are at the forefront of this redesign because digital biology and now generative AI are going to allow us to redesign this process, redesign this $250 billion that's spent every single year. And then digital health. We're at the opportunity now to think of digital health in a completely new way. Just as all of you, I'm sure, play with ChatGPT every single day or use it as a very regular tool, we're going to have, as consumers, many co-pilots working on our behalf. The future of physicians, and in fact, the future of patients, is also having many co-pilots working on their behalf. All of these healthcare interactions can be connected now to supercomputers that can be running these generative healthcare agents. It's just an absolutely extraordinary time, and I would love to share a lot of the work that we're doing with our ecosystem to bring this to life. You know that we launched NVIDIA Clara just about 6 months after the transformer was invented. We realized that AI is going to be domain specific. And so we invented the platform NVIDIA Clara after Clara Barton, not Santa Clara. She was the inventor of the American Red Cross. And it's a platform to help people. Clara is a platform to help the whole industry take advantage of the most advanced computing applications in the world. Computer graphics, accelerated computing, and now, of course, generative AI. We work across the most important domains of healthcare. Of course, we started our time with working in partners who were innovating on sensor technologies that allows us to see inside the human body, right? And then moving into the imaging and processing of that imaging. So we could add, I'll use Eric Topol's terms, a digital pair of eyes to all of these radiology exams. But now we're moving into very, very important domains. As I said, through the genomic revolution, a digital biology revolution is here, and there's so much information in this data that we still don't even know about yet. And pioneering now into language models and multimodal, using video and language models in combination to do some pretty amazing things. We're going to be announcing, or Jensen even announced yesterday, a new layer to the NVIDIA computing stack. As you know, for a while we've been building chips and systems, we build the system software, we've been building the application acceleration libraries, even into application frameworks that you know about Clara. We have Holoscan, Parabricks, Monai, we have BioNeMo. We're adding a new layer where we're taking these amazing capabilities and we're turning them into microservices. This is an incredibly important packaging of software that is going to enable the industry to adopt these technologies, not in a matter of months, but literally in a matter of minutes. You can think about these microservices as a packaging of the software. So we curate our own software, we curate the amazing software that's happening around the world in the open source, we curate software that is being developed by our amazing partners. We package it up into a container. It contains all of the software stack necessary, the CUDA version, the inference engines, and it packages it all up into one container. So it's optimized, and it has a defined set of standard APIs, and it's essentially put into a to-go box. Imagine all of this amazing technology we've built, we've now packaged it up so you can take it to go. That means you can run it on the entirety of the install base. I'm going to bring this concept to life because I think this is what's going to accelerate this industry to not in 20 years be the world's largest technology industry, but maybe in 5. I talked a bit about the digital biology revolution. It's really quite stunning, and we're right in the middle of this huge hockey stick curve of what's happening. You know, we've been working in genomics for a long time, and across DNA, RNA sequencing, and then single-cell sequencing has just made really, really profound breakthroughs to be able to look at the heterogeneity of cells so that we can understand, you know, when you have a tumor in your body, what cells are causing the behavior. And that was an incredible breakthrough, and it's driving a lot of great target discovery and initiatives in the drug discovery space. And we're embarking now with some incredible partners in pushing into what is spatial biology. Not only does it capture the heterogeneity of the cells, but it also can capture spatially where are they located so you can understand the interactions of these cells in a complete tissue. This is the kind of resolution, this multi-scale resolution, and even the transcriptomes, I should also add, across that entire tissue. This understanding of biology is going to elucidate things we've not been able to understand in the past. And this is really what's turbocharging some incredible work in the digital biology area. We're announcing today, or yesterday, I guess the official announcements went out, that we're going to be building a whole bunch of microservices for genomics. We've been building Parabricks for the last several years, and we're going to be building more and more microservices to not only apply it to the genomics analysis pipeline, so all of these incredible platforms can actually be read, the data can be read, but then we want to be building microservices in earnest so that they can be understood. You know, there's one thing to read something, there's another thing to understand it, and we still have a ways to go to understand everything we can about genomics. So we packaged up, for example, the germline pipeline. This used to be a very monolithic application. You would take the whole thing and you would go and you would deploy it somewhere. We've accelerated it immensely over the years, but we've turned them into 2 distinct microservices. And so now, literally, with 2 microservices, one for alignment and one for variant calling, we've leveraged and worked with deep variant with the Google team, and we've created actually a universal deep variant caller. That is completely compatible with Illumina, PacBio, Singular, Ultima, Oxford Nanopore. So you literally have one microservice that has the most accurate variant calling across all the platforms. And we've turned it into as simple as an API call. And so what is the opportunity here to recognize? I'm trying to put this into an application. Many of these sequencing platform companies, they're really trying to get the platform to market. It's very hard. These sensors, and they literally have robots inside the machines so that they can get the throughput that they need, the chemistry, it's incredibly complex. And so we're trying to assist in this analysis. Now they can take this alignment microservice and literally deploy it on the instrument if they wish. They can deploy it on a workstation sitting next to it, on a data center sitting in the facility, or on the cloud, completely up to you. And then similarly, you can do your variant calling on the instrument, data center, or cloud. And we've completely packaged up the software so you can experience this. And what's amazing about it is you automatically get all of the incredible optimization work that NVIDIA is waking up every day doing on your behalf. And so here you can see you can optimize for time. In the case of critical care patients, you might want to get to those variant calls in minutes. You might want to optimize for price because you're doing very large-scale population programs. You have now that choice because all these microservices can be deployed on the GPUs for the cost and time performance that you are looking for. But as simple as deploying this on a DGX cloud node, you can literally get this work done in just 10 minutes. So that is the power of these microservices. And then, as I said, we're taking it further. We're taking our genomics analysis work into this next tertiary domain and really trying to extract the insights. We're working with the ecosystem. When you're in spatial genomics land, one of the most important steps in analysis there is to actually do cell segmentation. There's millions of cells that are being captured, and knowing what those cells are and having a foundation model which we are building called Vista 2D, a foundation model that can generalize across cell types and cell strains, is really a powerful, now again, microservice that we're going to be making available to the genomics industry. We have just incredible partnerships, and this ecosystem is continuing to expand in really powerful ways. I've talked about GPUs facilitating the actual building of these platforms. They would not be able to get to market without the accelerated computing, full stop. Many of them have turned to deep learning to do the initial base calling step. But we're not stopping there. These microservices are giving the capability to make this acceleration available in all of the cloud platforms, all of the genomics ISVs that exist in the world, all the service providers, so that you can experience this as users of those platforms. And then, of course, we're helping the pioneering work of translational medicine and these large research programs around the world. We're in the next phase. Some incredible research has been done in just the last 6 months where we're taking this amazing data that's coming out of these platforms and we're applying generative AI in really profound ways. In fact, the team at the Vector Institute and University of Toronto, they created one of the first single-cell GPT models, and they showed that just like in text, has a relationship to the words, that genes have a relationship to cells, and that these type of models can generalize very well to a lot of powerful downstream tasks. The team at Deep Genomics took that even further. They invented big RNA and announced that late last year. And big RNA is allowing them to really understand a lot more about disease mechanisms. They're actually using it to discover new therapeutic candidates and do a lot of work in RNA expression. And then just last month, we were invited up to the ARC Institute, and they announced their EVO model. This EVO model took it even a step further, using the ability to do long context biological foundation model that can essentially generalize across all the biology domains, DNA, RNA, and proteins. And it's really incredibly capable of both prediction tasks as well as generation, from molecule all the way up to whole genome. So we are just getting started here, and these are some incredible breakthroughs. And so we want to facilitate this ability to do that. And it's just a representation here that we, for the first time, are at this point where we can digitize biology at new resolutions, new volumes, new sizes, new complexities. We have the GPT moment, essentially. We have this ability to train up very, very large language models, and we have the AI supercomputers. So we literally have the three ingredients that we are going to start to experience that exponential progress and capabilities, just like we have in natural language processing, across the life sciences and drug discovery domain, because for the first time we can represent essentially the world of drugs in the computer. And the minute you can represent something in a computer, you can start building really, really powerful models. Once you can build really, really powerful models, you can start simulating how they behave together. So this is this really, really extraordinary time that we're living in right now. We invented NVIDIA BioNeMo to facilitate and accelerate this research. There is burgeoning research going on in foundation models across all of these domains. And so we built not only a framework, but also a bunch of microservices that I'm going to talk about. Our NVIDIA BioNeMo framework is expanding quite quickly in terms of its functionality. We're listening to all of our collaborators and users, and again, we've built in features. This is a domain-specific framework that speaks the languages of chemistry, proteins, and DNA. In fact, some of the new features that we're announcing are the support of DNA language models. It has the ability to do some really interesting geometric deep learning models. So this is where we're doing a lot of sophisticated work in diffusion so we can understand the interactions of proteins and ligands. These foundation models are just incredible. We're being surprised by their capabilities, just like I'm surprised by GPT's capabilities every single day. And so this framework is continuing to expand. We are also on a plan to open source it. Or is it open source today? Might be. Anyway, it's going to be open source. So the hope is that everybody who's working on research can continue to evolve on this platform. We're going to be supporting all the latest application domain-specific network architectures and all of the data loading necessary, and we make sure that it's super, super fast. This framework literally allows you to train models across thousands of GPUs essentially automatically. No longer do you as a domain scientist in your domain have to think about all the computer science that has to go on below it. We've taken care of it in the framework. And you can see here the results are fantastic. We experience essentially near linear scaling for training these models. We are early days. Most of the models that I talked about today are in the single-digit billion parameter model size. We're hitting well over trillion parameter model size in the language space. You know that biology is going to take us there, and this framework is in an effort to help us get there. Yesterday, we announced a really, really exciting effort with the Novo Nordisk Foundation. We are partnering with them to help them build out Denmark's an AI sovereign innovation center. At the core of this innovation center, it's going to bring together Denmark's industry leaders as well as researchers to collaborate on bringing generative AI to Denmark for Denmark. Okay, they're building up a gigantic AI supercomputer. It's based off the NVIDIA DGX SuperPod. 191 DGX H100s, so over 1,500 H100 GPUs in there with our new quantum InfiniBand interconnect, so it can do that in-network compute that Jensen talked about yesterday. It's going to be something like the top 500 supercomputer, one of the largest in Europe. And that central instrument is going to be a way for our collaborative agreement to bring, like I said, all of this amazing software in a to-go box into the sovereign walls of a country to enable Denmark and its researchers and industry to really, really expand and accelerate innovation and boost their economy. And one of the most important areas we're going to be working in is in the area of drug discovery, precision medicine, and also quantum computing. So this is an incredible effort, and we look forward to really pushing into new spaces here. Drug discovery. The holy grail, I would say, of this digital biology data is so that we can understand enough of the complex biological system so we can apply it to something. That something, in large part, is a medicine. Either, hopefully we can get to preventative, but we're still in the phase of we have 10,000 or so unmet diseases in the world, and so we're trying to understand biology deeply so that we can find new medicine. This is essentially an infinite search problem at the get-go, right? People don't always understand, unless you're in the domain, just how complicated this is. There are over 10 to the 60 potential chemical compounds in the world. That's more than particles in the universe. And you're trying to find that one that is the right medicine for me or for a group of me that have a similar disease. Not only that, there are a lot of new therapeutic classes that are also protein-based. And guess what? There's 10 to the potential 160 potential proteins out there that could potentially be a therapeutic. If you think about that in an all by all, we're done. And so if you think about how drug discovery has been done over the last many decades, it's very much an empirical science. It's a lot of wet lab experimentation, deep analysis by deep experts with many, many decades of expertise, building on many, many decades of previous failures and successes of drugs. And so because this is so difficult, computational methods have been applied. And CPUs were one way to apply those computational methods, but they really could only get us so far. And so back when we invented CUDA, one of the very first places that we went with CUDA as an application space was in the area of molecular dynamics. Could we simulate, physics-based simulation, the ability to understand how drugs and proteins interact? And that got us a little bit further into being able to search this space. But we're really looking for how can we go much, much further. And I would say we're right at the beginning to be convinced that we're going to be able to search far and wide into the space with lots of innovative ways. So recent breakthroughs in AI are literally touching each and every phase of this process. Really, really cool work has happened at Stanford. They built it's called a state space model. These are one of these incredibly new and capable, especially in the area where you're talking about a 3 billion long genome and hundreds of thousands of long, proteins. These state space models can really accommodate some of that for this long range reasoning, and hyena DNA from Stanford is actually doing that. Transformers, as you know, Google DeepMind and the AlphaFold moment is profound, and you're going to see more from them. And this is Nobel Prize winning breakthrough that triggered all of us to really believe you can now start representing biology in a computer, and it does have very powerful downstream predictive capabilities. We have diffusion models that can help us model complex behaviors, right? Like DiffDock, the researchers at MIT and DiffDock. And so diffusion models now are being invented across the space to really think about lead optimization and some of the other areas in drug discovery. And then as I talked about, geometric deep learning, really being able to model these complexes. We have a fantastic partnership with company Iambic, and we helped co-develop this neural plexer, which is a physics-informed machine learning algorithm for those protein ligand complexes. So these generative AI methods are impacting literally every single part of the discovery process. And so announcing today is going to be a whole bunch of NVIDIA NIMs, NVIDIA Inference Microservices, that can be applied across this very complicated drug discovery process. And really, we're trying to open the aperture of places we can look for drugs, and then we can continue to use these models to fine-tune their properties, and then go into experiments with a lot more honed understanding and intelligence about what we're putting into experimentation. And in fact, the team at Amgen takes and uses all those models up front, does the experiment, comes back around and injects that learning back in. And so we're going to be announcing a bunch of these NIMs. I think we have over a dozen or so, and I'm going to talk you through it. These NIMs, again, take these very powerful AI models coming from three places. Some of them are invented by NVIDIA. Some of them we're curating from the open source because they've had very profound impact. And some of them are our partners' breakthrough models that they also want to make available to the research community. We package it up. We build all the AI inferencing into it. We build it into a standardized API so that literally can be deployed into minutes into applications or configured into more advanced applications for the drug discovery process. And so it's BioNeMo to go. That's all you need to remember. BioNeMo to go is NVIDIA NIMs, and all of these models are coming your way. If we can think about what microservices are, as I said, they're essentially these applications that can be composed into much more complex but very, very capable applications. This is an example of using generative AI for virtual screening, and I want to show it to you in action.
Virtual screening for new medicines is a computationally intractable problem. Existing techniques can only scan billions of compounds and require days on thousands of standard compute nodes to identify new drug candidates. NVIDIA BioNeMo NIMs enable a new generative screening paradigm. Using NIMs for protein structure prediction with AlphaFold, molecule generation with MolMIM, and docking with DiffDock, we can now generate and screen candidate molecules in a matter of minutes. MolMIM can connect to custom applications to steer the generative process, iteratively optimizing for desired properties. These applications can be defined with BioNeMo microservices or built from scratch. Here, a physics-based simulation optimizes for a molecule's ability to bind to a target protein, while optimizing for other favorable molecular properties in parallel. MolMIM generates high-quality drug-like molecules that bind to the target and are synthesizable, translating to a higher probability of developing successful medicines faster. BioNeMo is enabling a new paradigm in drug discovery with NIMs, providing on-demand microservices that can be combined to build powerful drug discovery workflows like de novo protein design or guided molecule generation for virtual screening. BioNeMo NIMs are helping researchers and developers reinvent computational drug design.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So what we're making available today is, you can see our NIMS roadmap is essentially here. I wanted to share it with you all so you know where we're headed. We have NIMs that are going to go across this entire process. The ones in bright green are available today to experience on ai.nvidia.com. Go get them. The ones in white are right now in early access as our BioNeMo Cloud APIs, and they will be coming to the ai.nvidia.com website soon. And those in gray are those that we're working on. We're working, as you can see, really hard to expanding into all of the great work that's happening in protein design. So adding AlphaFold multimer and OpenFold multimer coming, and the protein MPNN and the RF diffusion models. So these are really powerful, so that we can expand and really want to make microservices available, not just for small molecule, but for all the therapeutic classes that are well underway. And you can see above the top, it's just, there's so many workflows that can now be composed because these NIMs are readily available. We're super excited that we announced this week that we are working with Cadence. So if you know OpenAI software, not OpenAI, OpenAI software, been used for decades in the drug discovery industry. They have a really, really fantastic molecular design software platform. So it's the Cadence Molecular Sciences Group, and they are integrating all of NVIDIA NIMs right into their cloud-based SaaS. And what this does is instantaneously provides this generative AI capability to the drug discovery users of their platform right in their native work, right? They're not having to exit out into any other application. It's coming right into it. And that's the power of APIs. Is being able to instantaneously bring them into application platforms, and we're delighted to work with them there in over 18 of the top 20 pharma companies, and this is going to be really fantastic going forward. Their Orion platform is wonderful and now has NVIDIA Generative AI integrated into it. The BioNeMo ecosystem is amazing. I'm sure I can't see many of you because these lights are very bright, but I'm sure many of you are here in the audience with us. We have connected with over 2,500 AI startups in the healthcare ecosystem through our Inception program. Many of those are in this new class of companies that is emerging because of digital biology and generative AI. This new class of companies we call tech bio. These tech bio companies are pioneering some of the most incredible digital, not only the digital capturing capabilities, but also applying these modern methods of generative AI computing to discover new things about biology and new medicines. And so over 100 companies in that ecosystem are well underway using and integrating BioNeMo. And so we're excited to power this great ecosystem, and it's been a wonderful journey, and we're just getting started. All right, we're going to switch gears out of drug discovery into the delivery of healthcare. You can imagine that a lot of the work that you do in this model here is really for anybody who is applying themselves to do some amount of work to complete a task. But the notion of perception in medicine is such a powerful one, which is why from the get-go NVIDIA started our work in imaging. Imaging is such an important modality in healthcare for the start to the end of the patient journey. And so perception is such an important place where we can continue to innovate and apply energy and bring the ability of AI to it. It helps doctors reason. Well, guess what? With natural language processing, we're going to be able to up that reasoning even more by automatically synthesizing a lot of the information about patients or what's recently happening in the literature so that we can, again, continue to help them make the best decisions possible. And so generative AI meets medical imaging. We've been working with GE Healthcare for over a decade and a half. They recently pioneered a new foundation model called SonoSam. And this foundation model automatically tracks organs and structures and lesions across images, completely simplifying and speeding up ultrasound analysis. Philips Healthcare developed Philips MR Smart Speed. This model actually decreases the scan time of MRI by up to 3 times. And if any of you had an MRI, you would welcome this. And additionally, it also helps improve the image quality, something like the resolution by 65%. As you know, MRI is somewhat noisy data, but they're increasing that resolution by 65% for really great downstream analysis. Endovision is developing Cerebro using deep learning for video understanding so that they can help doctors, especially during any kind of GI GI procedure, essentially make sure that there's no part of your anatomy that's gone uninspected. You want the doctor to see everything when they're in there, so they don't have to go back again, and they're resolving everything that they can see. So generative AI is here, and it's great for medical imaging, for guidance, for enhancement, for inspection purposes, and many things more. We have an amazing collaboration with IIT Madras and their computational brain research. They are announcing this week, and they're downstairs, or excuse me, across the hall in our exhibit hall, with their incredible new brain research platform called NeuroVoyager. This team at IIT Madras is literally imaging the brain at the cellular level. About 100 brains, I think they're up to 50 today, going to 100, creating each brain image has well over between 2 and 3 petabytes of data. We've worked with them to digitize that data and be able to visualize that data in its complete volume at any kind of slice level that you wish, at any kind of resolution, all the way down to a half a micron. This is a never before done type of data set. This data is so complex, we're going to discover new things about the brain that we never have before. They're making this globally available, and they're doing some other amazing things so that we can expedite researchers' exploration and understanding about the brain. They're going to use MONAI, and they're using MONAI to segment the brain so that it's very easily navigatable, and you can understand what these anatomy and these pieces are in the brain. And then they're also doing something that is very, very helpful, is they're putting a chat front end on it. And this chat front end does everything from connects to all of the last 10 years of brain research, so you can ask it questions and it can summarize for you on a very evidence-based manner what are the papers that are talking about this particular phenomenon. You can ask simple questions about the brain. You can ask it to launch the visualization of the application. And this team is just getting started. So you can sign up for early access to NeuroVoyager just across the hall. Guys, go see it. This is what is going to be made possible because of all the AI technologies that we can pile onto it. A whole new era of brain research is being unlocked with this platform. So congratulations to the IIT Madras team, and they're hard at work, and they're making this available for, we studied the heart the last 50 years, and Eric's here. We're really good at the heart now. We've got to get to the brain. This platform is going to be a huge enabler for us to help the world understand a lot more about the brain. We need to hurry up because I'm on the second half here, okay? Okay, so also because imaging is so important, we similarly want to help this industry continue to make the kind of breakthroughs we need and use artificial intelligence in new and magical ways. So we are announcing a whole host of turning MONAI, which is an awesome open source collaboration, and turning that into microservices. So it's very, very easy to use. We have NIMs that can be deployed at the front end for data curation. So we have Vista 3D. It's an NVIDIA Foundation model for 3D segmentation, all anatomy segmentation and it generalizes across modalities. We have Vista 2D that I talked about for 2D segmentation. And then we also have MACI, and MACI is a synthetic image generation engine, so you might not have enough training data. And so you can use that all in the upfront. You can also use NIMs at the back and deploy them into your systems. We have microservices for AI-assisted annotation, microservices for training, whether it's self-supervised training, auto 3D, or just optimized training across many GPUs. And then we even have the microservice. MONAI has got fantastic traction. We have, well over 25 models in the model zoo. It's had more than 2 million downloads. It's being cited in, thousands of papers. MONAI is now the industry standard, and we want to just keep making it more accessible, and we want to be able to build it into platforms, and then, of course, deliver the power of these AI foundation models wherever they can be made most useful. The ecosystem here, again, is really, really incredible. And there's a new MONAI ecosystem that is fast emerging, and that is a lot of the software vendors that build applications for medical imaging, again, can now use our microservices and build them right in. And in fact, Flywheel, who's also in our healthcare pavilion, they're really creating a platform to go end to end, a complete medical imaging AI factory. And so they're going to be able to leverage all these AI services with their amazing biomedical data platform, and now build a whole AI factory with it. So go check them out as well. We're also announcing that all these microservices are going to be put in the places you also want them. Cloud service providers, AWS, we've been working with them a long time. They have their own suite of healthcare services, health imaging, health omics, their SageMaker platform, and even for high-performance computing applications, HPC cluster. And we're making all of we've already integrated these NIMs into those platforms, so you can access BioNemo and the genomics microservices right through, health omics when you're there. The NIMs are made available right into SageMaker, where you might be commonly using. And so it's a great partnership, and we look forward to working more with the AWS team. We're also announcing an expansion of our collaboration with Microsoft. So we've had really fantastic work that's happened over the last couple years. NVIDIA DGX is in Azure and gotten a lot of momentum from the drug discovery community who's building foundation models. And we're going to be continuing to expand into bringing NIMs and deploying NIMs integrated into the Azure AI platform just as well. So really, really great platforms. And as I said, NIMs give us the capability to literally deploy this capability to take generative AI and get it to you wherever you are. Okay, digital surgery. What an exciting time. Digital surgery, it seems like a common name for me, but as I read the research literature, it's not actually a well-defined term. And not that I'm going to define it well, but I define it in the ways that we look at it. And it's really the ability to use data, AI, and analytics to drive really fantastic optimizations in the workflow or capabilities in the surgery workflow. As you know, surgery workflows start from preoperative. Surgeons have to do a ton of preparation. They have to be trained on whatever instruments they might be using. They have to know and think about and kind of memorize the 3D anatomy that they're about to go operate on. Interoperatively, they're literally making thousands and thousands of decisions throughout that process. And then post-operatively, there's a lot of work to do just in summarizing everything that happened in the surgery, as well as surgeons do a ton of work watching their own surgery so they can improve for the next time. And so there's this ability now to take artificial intelligence and apply it across. Some really cool work. Orsi Academy in Belgium used our HoloScan platform for the first in-human assisted surgery using real-time segmentation and a 3D model pipeline to do instrument de-occlusion. As you can imagine, when you're putting an instrument, it gets occluded. And so they're using AI to de-occlude that. And this is actually a really, really big breakthrough to be able to apply augmented reality in the operating room. Erasmus Medical Center kind of built on top of that breakthrough, and they have a real-time AI and augmented reality to create essentially a GPS for surgeons. So projecting virtual images, as you can kind of see in the background there. I didn't want to gross anyone out early in the morning. Some of us are good at looking at these images, others not. But they're really overlaying all this information and virtual images on top of blood vessels so they can really help with the surgeon navigation during, for example, here in a lung surgery. Moon Surgical, as you saw in the video perhaps, they give surgeons an extra set of arms. And then they use real-time computer vision so that the scope control can move as the surgeon is moving. So the surgeon doesn't have to take their hands off the instrumentation. This is incredible. And then Medtronic, as you know, we announced the world's largest medical device company. They're using NVIDIA HoloScan and our IGX platform to power Medtronic's real-time AI endoscopy module for AI-assisted colonoscopies. So we built this platform, NVIDIA HoloScan, to really unlock this digital surgery era. A lot of what you do intraoperatively has to be real time. And so the first problem we solved for was the hardest, and that was doing the real-time processing. You can go from any sensor in to screen out in 10 milliseconds. You can apply 30 algorithms to that stream and see all that in 50 milliseconds. It's really, really quite stunning. We built not only the computer, so we built the IGX compute platform. We made it so that it's medical grade, 60601. It's not certified, it's medical grade. We work with partners. You can see several of them in our healthcare pavilion. They have a complete little system like that that is fully certified medical grade. So you as developers or those that are, healthcare companies delivering healthcare applications to the surgeons can think about the application. You don't any longer have to think about what chips and systems do I need to build, all the system software, medical grade. We've already done that. And then we took it one step further and we built HoloScan. This is the real-time AI sensor processing application framework that sits on top of it. And so now you can just drop in your AI algorithms and you can have this real time. HoloScan and IGX are much more capable of that. They can also, we have all those large language models that we also today, or this week announced, NIMS. Those language models can be deployed on the edge as well. So surgeons could actually have a conversation with the computer in the operating room, recalling important information from the health record system, for example. Or I would like to, bring up their preoperative scan so I can, make sure we're in the right place here, or we're doing the right thing, or I've got everything that I need to get. So this digital surgery platform is going to enable a huge ecosystem, and it already is. We've been working on this for a couple of years, and we work across a huge ecosystem. Everything from the sensor partners to the hardware builders to the solution delivery partners, LTTS, who can help you actually engineer and build this thing and bring it to life. Of course, all of the application developers. And so we have a huge ecosystem, and this platform is really starting to take off. We're excited to announce that Johnson & Johnson MedTech is working with us so that they can scale out this digital surgery or scale out AI for surgery. J&J is essentially in 80% of the operating rooms around the world. They have a very, very large surgery ecosystem that already exists. And this is giving them the platform to really accelerate the ability to bring more and more applications. And it's an open platform where they're going to be developing applications. They can work with their third-party partners that can build and deliver applications for the OR. And so just as I described, the opportunity for digital surgery, that sort of pre, during, and post, is just, the possibilities are essentially endless. And now we have the compute platform to do it. Okay, generative AI meets digital health. We have just a few minutes left. Digital health has gone from being predictive analytics into this, because of GPT, this ability to generate work and do work on our behalf. Okay, generate clinical notes, clinical decision support, do summarization, build a whole bunch of virtual assistants. And so I want to give you a flavor of this next generation of digital health that is right in front of us. We have the capability now, because of the architecture of large language models, to do three things. One, the models have the ability to generate. Two, we've built the tools so that there's something called reinforcement learning with human feedback. It aligns these models to have the ethical understanding and ability to act like we would as humans. And then third, it's augmented with data, so the hallucinations are minimized, if not eliminated. And so let me give you some examples. I see that digital health is going to be the thing that helps make a whole hospital, become an AI. We're now going to be able to take all of the data that sits in the information systems or is coming from any kind of sensors. They could be cameras, they could be microphones, they could be medical devices, and apply artificial intelligence. Artisight is an incredible partner. They're using multimodal AI, so vision language models, so video and doing video understanding. We are announcing today in early access a video analytics, intelligent analytics foundation model that can summarize what's being seen in the images. And here they can use it for incredibly important applications like virtual care and smart operations, patient monitoring, so patients don't have fall risk. Again, when you can understand what's happening in a video, you can truly come up with incredible applications, and Artisight is doing that. Abridge is another one. What an incredible company. They are essentially a generative AI, clinical conversational AI company. Their first application is medical summarization. So here you can see they have a cell phone that sits in the office with a physician-patient interaction. They use speech recognition. They use a very complicated mixture of experts of large language models so that they can summarize that patient interaction and automatically generate the clinical note for the physician. This is literally saving physicians 3 hours a day. That's something like 60 or 70 hours a month. This is incredible. They are integrated right into Epic, and this is just the first application that they have going. Look at those profound time that we're giving back to the physicians by applying these amazing technologies. Hippocratic, you saw them a little bit in Jensen's keynote. Hippocratic AI is building incredible digital health agents, generative AI healthcare agents. These agents, what's magical about the agents that we're building together with them is that they're real time. In order for you to have a real direct connection with a human, the interaction needs to be real time. You want to have an impact on their care, and you want to have them be able to react to you. They're also these agents that essentially can be always available. And so we're going to give you an example of, imagine you've come home from a surgical procedure. You've been given about 15 different things you need to think about: when to take your medication, how much to eat, how much exercise, how much sleep, don't eat this, do that. And so you have a lot of questions, and they have this ability to have an agent essentially standing by. This is a super complex system. The amount of technology is pretty jaw-dropping that is happening here. You're going speech recognition into their 1.7 trillion parameter constellation parameter model. This LLM has a whole bunch of 19 other supervisor LLMs so that it's safe, so that it has all of your personalized data, so it knows information about you, it knows information about the drugs that you're taking. It even has the ability to go off to a human agent if necessary. And then it comes back through a text-to-speech microservice into an audio-to-face to actually activate the digital human's face. So it's just a technology marvel, and we're essentially helping to deliver this in real time. And let me show it to you in the full form.
Hi, Sarah. I'm Rachel, your AI care manager. How are you doing after your appendectomy?
I'm good. I'm glad to be home with my dog, Dennis.
It's great to hear that you're back home with Dennis. I noticed that Dr. Chang has prescribed you some antibiotics, specifically ciprofloxacin and metronidazole, due to your ruptured appendix. Were you able to get these medications?
I was. I did forget to mention to the doctor that I am allergic to penicillin. Is it still okay to take the medications?
Great question. The antibiotics you've been prescribed, ciprofloxacin and metronidazole, don't contain penicillin. So it's perfectly safe for you to take them. Can you begin taking them today?
Yeah, I certainly can. Do you have any tips for faster recovery?
Given that you have diabetes, keeping your blood sugar levels in check will be beneficial for your wound healing. Your hemoglobin A1C was at a healthy level of 5.5, but your glucometer readings from yesterday were a bit on the high side. So keep taking your metformin and try to steer clear of foods high in carbs. How does that sound to you?
I think I'll be able to avoid the carbs for the week. I need to go right now, but it was great talking to you.
I'm glad we had this talk. I'll pass along your progress to Dr. Chang.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Stunning, stunning. And you can experience Hippocratic AI, and you can talk to Rachel. Her name is not Diane, it's Rachel. You can talk to her in our booth, and you will be blown away. Incredible work. Guys, we're over time. I just want to close with generative AI. This is a technology leap for healthcare. These domains of digital health, digital biology, and digital surgery are going to be completely transformed, and you can see it already here at GTC. They are being built and empowered by NVIDIA AI microservices. You can experience them and take them into your to-go box from ai.nvidia.com. Okay, just quickly, We don't hear it from me only. We have an incredible set of speakers. Shortly here is going to be Priscilla Chen. I have an amazing panel with Kathy Wood, Eric Topol, and Peter Lee this afternoon. Munjal Shah, the CEO of Hippocratic, the demo you just saw, he's speaking tomorrow at 10:30. So please check the schedule. This is an incredible lineup of speakers, and you're going to be as inspired as I am, I think. We have a special healthcare pavilion this year. So all the demos I just touched on, they're all in the healthcare pavilion. Just walk straight towards the back where you see the big NVIDIA booth, and it's just in front of it. And you can see all of these incredible thank you sponsors, thank you partners, because we are showing what the future of healthcare looks like here at GTC. Thank you very much. Have a great one.